What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Video game viewer here, bringing you some more Fallout 4 news. Todd Howard was recently interviewed about the upcoming Fallout 4 DLC, and I wanted to bring you some of his responses, guys. Some really exciting stuff coming to Fallout 4, not just the 3 pieces of DLC that we're going to see, but a whole host of other updates and just really cool stuff that are going to be coming to Fallout 4. We are going to have a busy next 6 months if you are a Fallout 4 fan. So the first thing I wanted to go over was he was asked, you announced 3 pieces of DLC recently. What can you tell us about this first wave of content? And his response was, the one thing we found about DLC is that we've done all types at all price points and all sizes. And we've come to the realization that it all works. It all sells very well. We went into Fallout 4 and decided to do all types at all price points. With this initial run, we want to have a little bit of everything. The first one, the Automatron, has a little quest line and this Pokemon-esque kill robots, get their parts, build your own gameplay. The robot building is really deep. It's really great. So it's just kind of cool that he like mentioned Pokemon there. But mostly because like it really sounds like he said really deep. Like we're gonna be really running around. We're gonna have tons to collect, tons to do, just a whole host of stuff just to do in that little bit of DLC. So, and that's just one part of the DLC. Really, what I want to touch on though was in this the survival mode and console mods. Console mods are going to be coming to the PS4 and Xbox One. We've known this news for a while, but we didn't exactly know when. But before I get to that, I want to touch on the survival mode. As you know, Fallout 4 has a survival mode, but it's not necessarily what everybody expected it was going to be. We expected that we were going to have to eat and drink water so we didn't die of hunger and starvation. We were going to have to sleep, and it sounds like we're finally going to get that in an update that's coming very soon. So Todd Howard had this to say. He was asked, you said you're going to beta test survival mode. How is that going to unfold? He gave a really lengthy answer. He said that's going to be something different that we usually do. Survival mode has a lot of change that Survival mode has a lot of changes that can be pretty dramatic. Once we get it honed, where it's working well enough, we're going to put it on Steam beta for a while. Here it is, start playing it, give us feedback. It's far easier to update and iterate on PC. Once we settle on it, then we'll release it for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. We want to get it up soon on Steam Beta. It's not going to be months and months off. It's not really, if it's not really working and we need to iterate on it, it may stay in beta for a month depending on what we are changing. But we want to make it have the game feel different. The bits we've done and me recently playing it, it's absolutely some of the most fun I've had playing Fallout. I mean that honestly. It changes it in a good way for me, but it might not be for everybody. So here's some of the changes that are coming to survival mode. We're doing things like you can't save unless you sleep. You can't fast travel. There are diseases that you can get. We're trying it all. It's a different experience. We're not trying to make it a ton harder. It's harder because you're doing more things. We want the combat to feel different as opposed to just being a bullet sponge. That's really interesting. They don't want the enemies to just be bullet sponges in the survival mode. We want to be able to take them down in a realistic manner, but they want to make the game harder. Fast traveling is one of them. I see them implementing maybe some way of getting around a little bit faster, but not necessarily fast traveling. Obviously, we have the vertibird that we can use, but that's not always an option for the people who didn't side with the Brotherhood. So kind of interesting to see how they're going to work that out there. Also, you're only going to be able to save when you sleep, which can make for some really intense moments, I would imagine. Especially, you know, maybe you're not high enough to go explore an area, you got really deep into it and you're about to die, and you know, you're kind of short on stim packs. You might have to leave, go rest, and come back. or one of the diseases you can get is insomnia. So it's going to be really interesting. You know, you're in the middle of a battle and your insomnia starts to kick in. You start to get really dizzy and blurred vision, and you're hungry and you're thirsty, and you're in the middle of combat, and it's just going to be a much more stressful combat environment, much more in depth, much more intuitive, much more realistic, and it sounds like it's a whole lot of fun. What we don't get is when exactly they're going to be coming out with it for the PS4, but they want to get the beta up on Steam pretty soon, so I can imagine maybe around May or June we might be seeing that on consoles. Okay, so for console mods, Todd Howard was asked, when can we expect to see mods, especially on the console side? Todd Howard's response was, our goal is between the first 2 DLCs. So that would be the Automatron and Wasteland Workshop, I'm guessing. It'll go up at that time on PC in April. All of that stuff will go up on PC. People are beta testing it. There'll be a lag on consoles. We want to get it up on PC and have it work. It'll probably be a good month before it hits Xbox One and another month before PlayStation 4. So PC users, you guys can expect to have you know, mods up for, which I think you guys are already using mods, but he said April here. Maybe they're going to have a more intuitive way of like downloading mods. I'm not really too sure. But so in April, so May and June, we can expect that on Xbox One and PS4. So this is some really, along with the 3 pieces of DLC that are coming out, guys, this is some really big and exciting news. I mean, we've got the new and improved survival mode, which is going to add a whole new layer of depth to this game. Which is already a really deep game, but it's just going to make it even deeper. We're getting the 3 DLCs, the Automatron, the Wasteland Workshop, and Far Harbor. We're going to be getting console mods soon. I mean, we're just going to be uber busy in the world of Fallout 4. It's almost going to feel like a new game, and I'm so super excited to just play all of this. So, guys, if you like this video and you want to see more Fallout 4 news or video game news in general, hit that subscribe button, and of course hit that like button. That always helps me out, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.